Hey guys, it's me, the Gintu Gamer, and today I'm going to show you some of the best client-side mods on Minecraft 1.18.2. For the Forge mods on the list, you're going to need Forge, and for the Fabric mods on the list, you're going to need Fabric, as well as Fabric API. You are also recommended to have mod menu just to make configuring mods a whole lot easier. Anyways, that's all there is to it. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. Okay guys, the first mod on the list is called Movement Vision, and pretty much allows you to only see movement. And this could make for a really interesting game mode, and it makes for some interesting gameplay, because it makes some aspects easier and other aspects harder. Like, in general, unless you're moving or the object is moving, you can't see a thing. But if I say get like a zombie, something that moves, you can see it from a really long distance as long as it's moving. It's really easy to spot. If I just stand still, look at that. It sticks out like a sore thumb. So any movement at all will be super easy to see from a very long distance. Just look at that. You're not gonna miss any movement as long as you stand still once in a while, making it really easy to find mobs and that sort of thing, and players if you're fighting with this on. Also, day and night doesn't matter to you anymore because everything always looks the same. And one of the best looking things when you have this on is, well, snow and rain, mainly snow. So for turn weather to rain, just look at this. Look how cool that looks. Doesn't that look really dang cool? And if we go down lower, you can see the rain. Yeah, it's really cool. It's hard to see a lot of things, but it does look pretty cool. This obviously will not work with any shaders, so no OptiFabric and no Iris, because it just will break. There are also a few settings. You can enable or disable it. You can change the blur radius, the trail, the blur count. I've not actually messed with these settings much. You can change the brightness, the contrast, whether it's monotone, meaning if it's all black, or if you can see the color still. I like it where you can't see color. If you have it to where you can see color, it looks a bit weird. And you can change the tint of the colors it does have, which honestly I think the default is okay. Anyways, it's all there is to it, so let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next two mods on the list are Amecs and No More Useless Keys. All they do will both be found in the config folder. They work from 1.16.4 to 1.18.2. So if we go to keybinds, there will be some new buttons. So with No More Useless Key, I can bind more than one button to any of the things here. So I could just hit plus, and I can add a new keybind here, whatever I want. That's open, right? And what Amecs does is allows you to have button combinations. So like Alt that, I have that be jumped on power space. So if I hit space, that's jump. If I hit Alt that, that's also jump. So it basically gives you a lot more freedom when it comes to making keybinds, and it's very useful because of that. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is called GUI Compass. As a Fabric version from 1.16 to 1.19 snapshot, and a Forge version for 1.12.2 to 1.18.2. And pretty much when you have a compass in your inventory, it will add a little GUI showing which direction you're facing and the coordinates. But it is only when you have it in your inventory, and that's pretty useful, so you don't have to outright hold it every time. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is called Compass Ribbon. It is for 1.16.5 to 1.18.2, and pretty much when you hold a compass, it adds a little ribbon. Not the thing you see in the top left, but thing you see in the top middle, that ribbon looking thing, like you see in many PvP clients. And it's very nicely made. I really like how it looks. It's a bit too transparent right now in my opinion, but I'm pretty sure that can be fixed by going into the config using mod menu, or just by changing the config file. You can change the range, the width, opacity. I'm gonna turn that up a bunch. You can make it hidden in nether in the end, or visible. You can change the colors. I wish they had one with blue, and there's a bunch of other settings here. But that's all there is to it. Let's go and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is called Better Block Placing and Better Placement. Pretty much, they work from 1.15 to 1.18.2 Forge and Fabric. The same jar will work from both Forge and Fabric. But for better placement, the original version is from 1.17.10 to 1.12.2 Forge. And I'll show a quick before and after of placing. Pretty much allows you to place a block every time your cursor updates, instead of so many ticks as a limitation. And you can set it to the config file to only work in creative, because it's a bit cheaty. Anyways, let's go to move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is called GUI Clock. It has Fabric version for 1.16.5 to 1.19 snapshot, and the Forge version for 1.12.2 to 1.18.2. And it's basically like GUI Compass, but for a clock. It shows you what day it is in game and the time, so you don't have to keep looking at it for the time, as long as you know how to read time. Anyways, that's all there is to it. Let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is a 1.18.2 mod called No Arrows in You. Pretty much, when you shoot yourself with this mod, or when someone shoots you, if I can hit me one of these times, there you go. Normally, an arrow should have showed up in my head, but as you can see, it didn't. They just kind of disappear like magic or something, and you don't end up looking like a porcupine no more. So that's pretty much all there is to it. It just makes them stop rendering. I don't really get the point unless you find them unaesthetically pleasing or something, but it might be useful to you. So let's go and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is called Recast. That has a Fabric version for 1.16.5 to 1.19 snapshot, and a Forge version for 1.12.2 to 1.18.2. And pretty much, if you quickly go fishing, which penguins are great at, there we go. As soon as we go fishing and right click to get a fish back, it automatically recasts, meaning every time if you catch a fish, it will recast for you as long as you pull it in first. Like I pull it in and it goes back out right away automatically to make it slightly faster for you. It's not fully automatic or anything, but it does help a little bit, just a little bit, making it slightly less cheaty than fully automatic fishing mods. It's not much better, but it's a bit better. It's a bit better. Anyways, that's all there is to it. Let's go ahead and move on to the next mod. Okay guys, the next mod on the list is called Instant Connect. It is for 1.16.5 to 1.18.2, and pretty much as soon as you start your game, you can it'll automatically join a server, straight to joining a server. And you can configure in the config file what server you want us to be, and it's great for, say, mod packs that are linked to a server, or if you're someone who likes to have a specific client for every single server, because you might want different mods depending on the server. Like there's some mods you might want high pixels, some mods you might want for a certain SMP, and then other client you want on an anarchy server. You can put this mod in, and it'll join to whatever server you set it to join. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope to see you all in the next video or stream. Leave a comment below if you need any help, have any suggestions, or if you just want to comment. Anyways, bye.